We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin read today already 7% down, and there are a couple of reasons for it. The stock market is dragging Bitcoin down for sure, and also other short-term factors that are going away very, very soon. So really, short-term factors negative, long-term factors are very, very positive, and we are also going to take a look at that. Then we have to talk about Bitforex, because there are some strange things going on with in terms of withdrawals and the time that it takes, but also some things that are coming out of the support that are rather worrying. So we are going to put out a warning here for some things, at least some elements in Bitforex. And obviously we are going to talk about Ecomi and Veve, so make sure to prepare your coffees and stay all the way through. So, good morning, every one of you. I hope you are doing well. Roman Frey is here, coffee locked and loafing. Green Lantern is here, my rare hodler, GM boys, last day in the hamster wheel before vacation. Oh man, I envy you, to be honest. I guess I will be listening to replays for 2 weeks, unless they can't get rid of the climate activists at the Frankfurt airport. Okay, so is there a blockade going on at the moment? Are they going crazy at the moment? Yeah, that sometimes happens. Where are you going? What's your destination? Trucking Hank also here. Good morning, my man. And Motili is also here. So fine, there are a couple of people here. Make sure to smash up the like button right now for the stream, and let's jump right in, maybe a little bit with Bitcoin first here. So we see the support at this minor support at 65k did not hold. We slammed right through it. We had a little bit of a bounce in the lower time frames on it, but nothing too crazy. And now we are on our way to the downside again, continuing a downtrend that we have outlined here that is lasting for months now, with a series of lower highs here, right? So each of these highs of these peaks is lower than the other one. So at some point we expect the turnaround, but also the lows. This is lower than this, or the other way around, like this is lower than this, and so on. So you really see here kind of this actually probably we have ourselves something going on here that was just in the making and probably looks more like this, right? In terms of support, and also maybe in terms of on the top side, but so we are hovering in this range. Bitcoin cannot really get out of it, and at the same time there are a couple of things in the world happening. I bet it has a lot to do with uncertainty as well. So if we're looking just over headlines a little bit today, I found this was pretty interesting. So we have this here Japan's Nikkei does a 3% dive. Now you can say, okay, 3%, that's what Ecomi does in 5 seconds, or to the downside, or that even Bitcoin does in an hour or so. That can happen. But for stock markets, like if the entire stock market drops 3%, that's not a small move, right? On the other side, Nvidia, for example, we see it here. Nvidia supplier SK Hynix posts highest quarterly profits in 6 years on AI chip leadership. So this AI market is really going nuts. It's really going crazy, and we should have certain hopes for our AI crypto coins because of that. And then furthermore, Biden came out here endorsing Harris, had a live stream. Some people speculate that the live stream wasn't actually live. They zoomed in on his watch and found some strange things there. So can't really comment on that. But the tinfoil hat is close to eruption now. But the main factor why we're red is probably this. So S&P 500, Nasdaq tumble for worst day since 2022 as Tesla, Alphabet slide after quarterly results. And we see it also here. Tesla shares are down 12% after earnings miss for biggest slump since 2022. So these are really this is 2 years, worst day since 2 years for the S&P. Worst day since 2020, basically, for Tesla. So obviously, some things are happening, and we see already here on the top, the markets are, I would say, deep in the red, and that has some effect on Bitcoin as well. It always had an effect on Bitcoin as well. Now it has a little bit of an effect. I mean, we have to see that we are still at 64,000, despite the stock market being in trouble, I would say, despite Mt. Gox sellers are now probably selling off what they receive, despite that we just had 50,000 Bitcoin hitting the market from Germany, despite that there is some uncertainty regarding the Biden-Harris constellation and so on for the markets. What is going to be different now? But long term, we have so many big catalysts coming, like for example the rate cuts from the Fed expected for September. Long term, we are expecting that the rates in the entire world will come down. Long term, we are expecting that if Donald Trump wins the election, that he is going to place Bitcoin as strategic reserve for the US. Long term, we are expecting that the ETFs on both Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing massive work. Long term, we expect that there's some game theory playing out that other countries also will put Bitcoin into strategic reserve. Long term, we expect that the asset managers now, they want to have everything from the crypto market, and they will also set up ETFs for Solana, for Cardano, for whatever other crypto out there, and even mixed ETF where people can ape into like crypto segments like the AI trust that Grayscale set up. So it's really like what is bringing us in the zone for the red is really only the short-term news. And I mean, this was expected. It was expected that in the economy, we always said it, like the rate cuts will come when something in the economy breaks. And that is what is going on at the moment, right? This is somewhat, it doesn't have to be like a super meltdown in the economy, but once we see, for example, that the unemployment rates in the world, they are going up now. A lot of companies are cutting down on staff, right? We see that, and that is something where the central banks really want to act at a certain point. We see inflation is slowly coming down, even though that numbers are rigged sometimes, right? But it's coming down. So there will be those rate cuts all over the world, or they're already happening. Like in the European Central Bank already did one rate cut. Switzerland did already one rate cut. Canada did it. I think there were a couple of more countries that already did that, but they are now more or less on hold because they want to see what the US does. So if Fed Powell lowers, they feel more confident to lower as well. So this is what happened then in the stock market. So over 1.1 trillion was wiped out yesterday on the stock market, and we will see how it will go on. Like, I mean, when there's earnings weeks and earnings look really bad, then this can happen, and we see like the big, like from these, like the super big companies, we have like a couple of percent down is already in the trillions, right? So we see that all stocks, they're all in the red, right? So Tesla here, MasterCard and Visa, and even Nvidia and Apple, so everything in the red. And that obviously has an effect, especially the tech stocks, they still have an effect on Bitcoin. But not to fret, because we will have something interesting here, and that is that the market cycle so far plays out in terms of, for example, here, like the Plan B analysis. You see this here. Next comes red, right? Next comes the real red, and the real red usually closes higher, right? Higher, we see it here. Then the real red dots, they are already like they go almost past all-time high. So we should expect that the next red dot decent amount higher right here if we follow this cycle, and so far we do, right? So far we follow the same performance. Like this part of the RSI looks similar to 2017, just on steroids, right? So we see here really that this is almost the same move as this, and the next red, the only thing that is not exactly is that this red button is not as high as it was in the previous cycle. So it will be really interesting if how high we can pump now in the next 1 or 2 months, right? I mean, fully red dot, it can still be a little bit higher, and then the massive boom. But you see that the expansion, this is happening in this phase where we are at 40 months. 50 to 30 months before the next halving, right? So which is the time right now, and so this is happening next, and there are a couple of things that are coming that will support this. So for example, the Bitcoin conference is going on, or will start. I think, is it starting today? Is it starting tomorrow? But one thing is, for example, this Wyoming Senator Loomis, I didn't know her before, but she plans to announce legislation for strategic Bitcoin reserve at Nashville conference. And I don't know, is it a she, is it a he? I don't know. It just says Senator Loomis. Trump is expected to speak at the conference on Saturday, so this will be a weekend pump if he says something out of the expected. But she will show the plans to announce this strategic Bitcoin reserve, and that would be crazy, because if the US really implements a strategic reserve, that means all the countries in the world will do the same, will have to do the same, right? Just as they are waiting for the US Fed policy to play out, they are also going to do the same with regards to Bitcoin. And finally, sorry, that was like, let's go to this first. And finally, I mean, this is being updated on a frequent basis, and so far in this cycle, I mean, I didn't really need the red circle here. We know where we are, but look at how accurate we are between the 2020 cycle, and which is the blue one. The blue one is our last cycle, and the green one, which is our 2017 cycle. So look how accurate we are, and we could even come down a little bit without any problems, right? But also we are very, very close, like give it another 60 days at the maximum, where we really enter this parabolic phase. everyone is like, oh, when does it start? Everyone is bored. No one's really interested. People are don't really buy because they believe the fathers that say that this time will be different and we just go flatline. Or this, like, I see some bigger accounts like, oh, the biggest crash is coming now because the red market is the market is the red market. Yeah, the stock market is a little bit red. So yeah. So let's see the chat here quickly. Green Lantern says goes to Portugal. So oh, that's fine, but that's like the same time zone than here than it is here. So I really don't see any problems with watching a small recap after you wake up. Just kidding. Enjoy your holidays, man. And Felipe is also here. Felipe, what is going on? Long time no see. But you're probably always here. You just don't write. Trucking Hank says rumor that Elon will be there. If Elon is going to be there, then it's only Larry Fink would then be missing. I don't know if Larry Fink is also there, but then the half of the next U.S. government is then there. We will see. We don't know yet. ECCL says, I'm up too late once again. Welcome to the stream. No problem at all. Sleep highly overrated. Coffee fixes this. So let's take a sip and crack on. So yeah, I think rather than boredom, we should actually see this, these next couple of months that we still have, because I mean no one can seriously believe that we will move according to the 2012 cycle that was really out of like everything, right? So we should take that as a chance to increase the bags that we want to increase while we still can, because even though that there is an altcoin season at the end of this move that really brings the big pumps, the altcoins and everything else will already start moving with this. So even though an altcoin season starts and gives you a 10x or something out of everything, that doesn't mean that your altcoins, while this move happens, cannot do, like, if Bitcoin triples here and altcoins triple as well, the Bitcoin dominance stays the same. Altcoin season didn't start, but you still would have then to buy up there at triple altcoin prices. So definitely the time is now to build the altcoin bags. And definitely this also, even at like 64K is probably even still a decent price to accumulate some Bitcoin. Because if you see that the previous high is 69,000 for Bitcoin, and let's do this quickly here, because some people are just not aware where the next Bitcoin bottom will be if everything goes to the same. So you see this here, like the previous all-time high, it was 20K, right? And the bear market barely crossed this to the downside and went to 15K. So that means that technically, like in this cycle here, technically everything that and before that, everything up to the 20,000 was a decent buy, because next time you want to buy at 20,000, you have to hit exactly the bottom, right? Or somewhere there and thereabout. So this is always thinking, like, what if the price goes to 250K and the next bear market bottom is at 60K, right? This could definitely happening. So 64K, yes, you would technically be a little bit in the loss then in the next bear market. But you also, if you want to buy these prices next bear market, you have to really nail the bottom the next time, right? So that is, and you cannot be sure because you don't know before how deep it will drop. What if it doesn't go to there? What if the bottom next time is 69K, right? Then it's 64K is a pretty decent buy for a long-term hodl. Yeah, we'll definitely watch the stream on recap unless you make them private. Yeah, sorry about that. That had to happen. It will not happen with this stream though, and with the next ones also not. It had to happen. You guys know why. Anyways, so we are here. Big run coming. That's all you need to know. And now the thing is here. What we see is with the Ethereum ETFs. Now we have to also see the performance. And Grayscale So it is now happening what we feared would happen. And then I also said before, or right before, I said maybe it doesn't happen because of the Grayscale mini trust, and I was expecting maybe they put the Ethereum from the Grayscale trust into the mini trust automatically, but they don't, right? So now obviously we have the same game as with Bitcoin here in Ethereum, and that is that you have all these fees, right? So 25, 0.25, 0.25 to 0.21. So everything's like super expensive compared to the mini trust. But the most expensive, like 10 times more expensive, is the ETH. The ETH is so expensive that no one has a choice but to sell that Ethereum, to take that Ethereum out of the this trust. And there are $9 billion dollars in Ethereum basically in this trust, right? So this is what will add to sell pressure for a longer time, and it will flow into the other ones. And why does it flow into BlackRock and not into the mini trust? Because people want to have a trustable asset manager. You see it here, right? So here's the BlackRock one, a trusted asset manager, that like biggest asset manager people trust that this is better. Even though it's a little bit more expensive than the mini trust. But also the mini trust sees some inflows, more inflows actually than 21 shares of VanEck. So, and it's seeded with 1 billion. So this is crazy. And yeah, so the Grayscale trust is really, really big. So this can add to some serious sell pressure there. Just so you are aware and not expect like anything super huge out of the Ethereum. But this is also short term. Like with the Bitcoin ETFs, these outflows, they are short term, and at some point it's just not relevant anymore. And long term, then you have to see that these, like, there's $500 million outflow. BlackRock bought most of it, like half of it, together with Bitwise apparently, and so there this all gets absorbed. But what if this supply doesn't come anymore? What happens then? Ethereum will just double in the mean of a couple of days, right? And also for Bitcoin, here's another metric that is interesting. For Bitcoin, the hash ribbon has flashed a buy signal on the daily at our current price. So it flashed the buy signal already at 65k. Now we're at 64k, so it is not super accurate, but every time that we have this buy signal flashing, it takes a while, but then we are taking off. So here, for example, it flashed it at the bottom and then in this dip, right? So this is also a little bit lagging probably. Here also it flashed and we still had the trough before us. So it's not every time super accurate, but here it flashed and we had this massive run up to our second peak in the bull run. Here it flashed, we had this mega parabolic move. So it kind of like, it is not 100%, but it is accurate. It is relatively accurate to indicating the next run over the next couple of weeks. And we will see if it will start and then last. But we technically and basically have, and many people don't see this, we have this initial pre-bull run, but we have a year of just green bull run in front of us, right? We really have a mega bull run in front of us, at least in my opinion, and it's just about to start. So I think we can be really bullish here. We still have a chance to build our bags because of these things. At least that's what I am doing. And it's not financial advice of any sorts or so, but I'm just going to like slowly DCA here and there, like bags that are $100. Maybe I build them up to $200 bags that are $500 or $600. I maybe get to build them up to $800, $900, $1,000. Prepare for 20x out of those or so. Right, so that's really the objective here, and then hodl the rest that is already built, like bags with 2,000 for me, right? I mean, maybe some of you say, "Whoa, these are like super small allocations. What the heck is this guy doing?" Maybe so, right? Everyone in their possibilities, But yeah, and then obviously bags with a couple of $1,000, like hoping that they will do like big multiples as well. Yes, so Bitcoin dominance though is doing exactly what we expected to do, is going up again, and we are at new highs already. We are not at an all-time high or at a new high in the cycle, but candle body wise, if you look at this monthly candle is higher with the candle body, and it's about to close in 6 days. We are at 56. We just hit 56% right there for a second. So it's really high right now, and this is exactly what we expect out of this. So altcoins get wrecked while Bitcoin gets wrecked. So just they get wrecked a little bit harder. This is how the Bitcoin dominance rises, and then probably we are going to have a run up as well in Bitcoin, where altcoins will follow. But this together, it will add up to a couple of more percent. So the prediction here is that we are going to go to about 58%. Or very close to 58%. We can wick out of this to even a little bit higher. We will see then if we continue to rally in dominance and Bitcoin really gains more out of this market, but I don't believe much higher than 58% because there's major resistance coming in, like overhead resistance, and then we are going to hopefully see that it tumbling for a while and then crash into a massive degenerate altcoin season, right? That is what we're hoping for. So the trend is intact for Bitcoin, right? This Bitcoin dominance trend. I mean, how long are we observing this and talking about this? Like from this wedge, at least, like from last July, September, we are definitely talking about this here on this channel, and so far everything is going according to plan. Everything according to plan. Let's also see the altcoins. So there is this pattern here in the in like here we see it, right? On if we're looking on the monthly, you see how this pattern is very accurate also on the monthly. So the altcoins really need to find their bottom now, so to say. Like they really need to find their bottom to then be able to bounce, right? And maybe we will come down quite a bit still. We don't know for sure, but at the moment you see that altcoins, and these are the altcoins without the top 10, but we also see it like it mimics Bitcoin. Here we see it. It mimics Bitcoin. It's coming down. We are moving in this channel. And at some point, we expect this channel to break, hopefully to the upside, very likely to the upside, and then our massive move out of the altcoins. But we need to have Bitcoin moving first. And it's like it's a mega version of what happened here, right? You see this here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, right? So it's a mega version of this, and hopefully it's going to play out in the same way, that we have a massive parabolic run then to, I don't know, $1 trillion in altcoins or so. That would be ideal. $1 trillion would be a 5x, by the way. Close to a 5x. Would be close to 5x where we are now. If we are buying the dip though, a little bit lower, it would be a 5x out of the entire altcoin space. But even in the others chart, there are many slow movers in this space that are not capable of doing way much more than a 5x or so, at least, like in perspective. I mean, if Bitcoin 10x's from here, then obviously everything else will go completely degenerate nuts and much more, right? But so the others chart that we were looking at is starting with ADA, right? And ADA is sitting at 14 billion. So if ADA 10x's, it's 140 billion ADA, right? So this is basically, and then that would be $2 trillion. If everything 10x's, it would be a $2 trillion altcoin market. That's possible. It's possible, absolutely possible, right? It's possible that everything 10x's, but if ADA 10x's, it's more likely that you have like down here, for example, already like the 1 billion things that they go 20x, right? So the relation is that the lower market caps are just going harder, right? And that's also why I don't want to be only like overweight Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of the others, because like Ethereum, what can you expect? Like even Ethereum can technically do a 5x or so, go to $15,000 from here. But I don't want to have my portfolio only with a chance of a 5x, right? That's not the objective. Doesn't mean that, like Bitcoin, for example, we are at 64K. So if we expect Bitcoin to go to 150K, it doubles, right? So fine, if the objective is to double our money, if you have multi-millions, that is super easy, because then you can just buy Bitcoin, you double your money, easy, right? But if you only have a couple of $1,000s, you want to have a little bit more of a rocket to come closer to then buy more Bitcoin in the long run, right? So you need to travel the fast lane. So overall, we see the market gets wrecked quite a bit. So let's look at some coins here together. So we see that Ethereum, for example, is 8% down, but still 70% on the year. So Ethereum suffers from these outflows at the moment. BNB down 3%. Like Bitcoin is leading here with almost 3% down. So every altcoin that is only 3% down, like BNB, or only 2%, like Solana, is holding up pretty big. And look at Solana. Solana is crazy. 625% on the year, 25% in the last 30 days. So Solana is very, very strong. And so a bigger part of the move. A bigger part of the move for Solana has already happened. Doesn't mean that Solana cannot be worth $1,000 in the bull run, right? It can. But a bigger part of the move has already happened. Toncoin is also super strong. Look at that, 12% down on 30 days. So if we want to buy the dip, no matter of what, we should really look for what is super strong but has suffered in the last 30 days, right? So let's see here. Like one of the coins that is absolutely has not gotten any traction, despite that one of the biggest prediction markets is built upon it, is Polygon, right? So Polymarket is one of the is the biggest prediction market that's built on it. Still, Polygon is down 30% on the year. So Polygon still needs to come. It's also another one that is suffering greatly at the moment is Arbitrum. So if you're looking for deals in the top 25 or so, these are the deals. Super strong is Casper. I think Casper will climb up the ladder still. I don't hold any Casper, nor do I hold Arbitrum, by the way. So here's one. So this could be a buy the dip one. If you're looking for a larger cap, IMX, Immutable X, down 5% on the 5.5, almost 6% on the day. 7% on the week, 30% in the last 90 days, and it did show some strength, but it's only up 100%, only. So that's not much from like a year to date. That might be an option for a buy the dip. It's 2.6 billion, so don't expect much more than a 10x out of this for the bull run. But that could be an option to buy the dip. And if it dips even further, like to 130 or so, that could be an option to just accumulate some IMX. Personally, I am looking more like, I don't know, like take this Devi here, for example, so this is, we don't even know what the market cap is on this side, right? So it's down 14.5% on the last 24 hours, 23% on the last 7 days, and so on. So that would be an option. What is the other one, like Chappies, for example? And these are all projects where you don't know what's going on, what's going to happen. Actually, Chappies is not down too much, but 30% on the last 90 days, I take it. So overall, there are many deals in the market that can be bought. Also, I think Chainlink was also pretty. Where's Chainlink? There is Chainlink. Yeah. So Chainlink is also down 5%, 6%. So from the large cap, I think Chainlink is one of the best. It showed some strength, not even 100% up, But Chainlink is also a nice opportunity to buy the dip, in my opinion. Maybe I will add a couple of link today just to give it a little bit more. Like a link can easily go to $100, I think, per link, and that wouldn't even be a 10x, right? But yeah, this is my thoughts on this. Now let's talk about Ecomi, right? I mean, do we really want to? Yes, I think we should. We should talk about it. What happened? So it lost all its gains, basically, almost lost all its gains on from the OMI to NFT news. And yeah, now the question is, will it even be able to maintain this slightly upward sloping trend? Will we come out of the slump or not, right? And a big factor into this at the moment is the Bitforex situation. And there are a couple of things that I want to share with you. So Bitforex opened yesterday, the gates, and people are trying to get their stuff out. I heard from my rare hodlers that there are a little bit of problems with KYC and so on. It's open, but can't KYC, right? So we see that reflected. I don't know, Trucking Hank, if you were able already to move forward there. So here is the thing. Foster posted this. I think this is interesting to know. If you have initiated a withdrawal from Bitforex and are receiving a pending or auditing notification in your withdrawal, note that the exchange is processing withdrawals in batches. As they address demand and congestion. So they are basically, they will have so many transactions that they need to process this one by one. This can take a while, right? Philippe says KYC is working now. No support for mobile devices. Oh, okay, so you have to sit down on a computer, and I saw someone that said, I'm actually on holiday, so I only have a smartphone with me. In crypto, if you are a crypto holder, never do this. You always have to have your keys, your passwords, everything with you, because what happens if the entire crypto market goes into the last stage, parabolic phase, like vertical candle, and you are on 3 weeks holidays and you don't have a notebook with you to take profits, and then you come back and you're like, oh my god, I couldn't take profits, right? So you have to have the chance to react at all times. You cannot only rely on a smartphone. You have to have a notebook with you. They won't allow me to access with my phone. I have to wait until I get to my PC. Exactly. So this is exactly the problem. You always have to have in crypto a notebook with you, no matter what you do, so that you can sit, like even if you're driving, you're on the road, that you can stop at a McDonald's, go in, log into Wi-Fi, and execute on a trade or whatever, right? You cannot be. We are living in an age where almost a robot will do half of our stuff. Like, we are living in high-end tech age, whatever. You always have to have your tools with you, so to say, right? If you don't have a notebook with you, that's like a soldier without his rifle. You will not be able to react fast enough. The notebook just makes it so much easier to do all the also this, like when you are logging into an exchange and then you have to put in the authenticator and whatnot, right? So you have to have your stuff with you. I think that's something for the bull run, because there are some altcoins, they will peak, they will have nice multiples for only a couple of hours or days, and then they already will fall back. So that's really then when the number looks like you like it, then it's time to take profit. Yeah. Or if it reaches your predefined target, is even better. So this is one problem. The other problem that I saw, you need to be very careful, because I don't know exactly what this is, but look at this. So this guy, he says Bitforex requires you to put 500 USD into actually activate and withdraw your funds. So sketchy, you can't make this shit up. I hope you you didn't make this experience. I don't think you did, but look at this, like chat with support agent. Users who deposit $50 will see it reflected in their account as a top-up balance. However, the system will not automatically synchronize their account to reactivate it from its dormant state. Therefore, users with inactive accounts are required to make a deposit of at least $500. This ensures that the system detects the transaction and synchronizes it, thereby reactivating the account from its dormant state. This sounds super scammy, right? So you have to top up like 10x what you have if you want to extract like smaller amounts or whatever, or like dormant state or what. I mean, this shouldn't be. Instead, a support guy, like if you're working in support, you should be able to reactivate accounts from dormant state just by a mouse click. And also they themselves wrote that it will be not possible to top up accounts, that you will not be able to deposit anything, right? This is not a fee but a deposit. So they said that it wouldn't be possible to deposit, right? It goes to your account. When reactivated, you can withdraw all your assets. This sounds super fishy. I don't know if you had to do, like, if you guys had to do this as well, but I would be really worried that this is a scam or so, right? So yeah, that seems absolutely odd. And also be careful if you're complaining about things to Bitforex, right? There are always these scammers below it. It's like reach out to recovery. I don't know. You get scammed again. Like this is like the worst of the worst scum on the internet. The guys that when someone was victim of a rug pull, they post, hey, go for this recovery agent, and then they just scam the person again, right? And there are so many innocent people in that sense in the market, in the sense of that, or naive, right? That never dealt with situations like that before. No one has, right? But they are not suspicious enough. You have to be always very, very suspicious. Chat window overlay would be too scammy for me. I would check the network. I think it is not the window from Bitforex. I also think so. This is like, it looks super scammy, TDO and something like that. And also it's like, they have a support email address, right? Why they did never say like chat with in Bitforex support, right? So yeah, Philip, you're absolutely right. Just go by like the most official that you can find, email, and then see what comes out of the email. If you have to connect wallets, click links, top up balances, that's usually not what is supposed to happen. So this is from my side, huge warning shot from here, not to follow any of this. Instead, follow the official rules from Bitforex, and that is here the email address support@bitforex.com is the only thing that they have in their official announcement. It's the only thing that they have. It's the only thing you should really follow. So I hope that that helps. If I only could prevent one person from getting wrecked here, I'm already happy. Mission accomplished. And with that, let's move to some OMI-related topics. San Diego Comic-Con is starting out today, I think, with this apparently with the Stanley Gold and Silver. I think that is the reward for that you can redeem for the digital purchase, and also an X-Men comic. So it's coming today. Again, be aware that in the past, Veve sometimes, not always, but sometimes Veve did some kind of a secret drop that was unannounced and that was just there for some people to buy, and you could make some nice gem flips and so on with that. Or even catch something, hodl something that is a little bit. I mean, right now they have these super scarce comics also on the Veve comic site, and then they will follow this up with Wolverine in the brown suit, which is actually one of the super classic suits. So it's not any invention. It's actually something that is super legacy. And then there is this Zero Ghost comic plus the Ant-Man collectible on the 27th, updated here. And then on the next day, Sentinel and the Next Addiction comic, which is a crafting event. What's going on, MVE? How are you doing? So this is all, this is all that we have so far for Veve, or in the calendar for Veve. Let me quickly go to Veve Collectibles here. So here we have like this jukebox craft. Holders can't. This is actually wrong. Not holders. Original purchasers can still craft the record for free for another week, and then this crafting event will. So if you purchase this on drop, you can craft this record. So you should do that definitely if you have this jukebox from the drop, and then here's the Ant-Man drop. We didn't look at that in terms of numbers. Let's see how the numbers look, if there's any variants or chases. So it's the Ant-Man uncommon. This is a pose. So that's different poses. What's that? Ant-Man Quantum Secret Rare. Okay, so this looks interesting. I don't know what that is on a Quantum Realm base, but I think this is not animated. This premium digital collectible bottle, dynamic motion. Oh yeah, it does. Okay, so embodies dynamic motion caught in mid-action. Oh, okay, no, dynamic motion caught in mid-action. I don't know. It just usually it has this logo for animated, right? This doesn't seem to be animated. Push and bend arms, ready to burst into movement. Okay, ready to burst into movement means no movement, right? And there are only 98 sub 100 for the secret rare, so chase variant, price point only 30 gems, so they did lower the price for the entry here, and only 2,000 also for the. This is actually this is good numbers in my opinion. Like no one wants the uncommon for sure, but this one will be the chase, and it will be like what is that? 100 of the, like it's less than 5% of the allocation is the secret rare. And yeah, so I think with 30 gems, many people will maybe gamble on the secret rare for the Ant-Man, and there are also people that like the Ant-Man. So I think these numbers are already going in the right direction, and so price mixed with nice chase and enough numbers so that they can still make some money. I think that's exactly what is needed here, and also especially for San Diego Comic-Con, if there are new people that are looking into this and they want to get the Ant-Man drop here on Veve, then that's obviously ideal, right? Speaking of which, let's look quickly at the numbers. Let's look at the numbers here. Actually, that was not the one that I wanted to load. I wanted to load this one. So the numbers for the Veve, the new Veve users. So we're still like in a little bit like July 18th, so like a 1 week downtrend now in terms of holders. So there are a couple of wallets that went to zero, so these can be flippers, but overall we were relatively stable, 925, and now we're at 964. So over the course of 1.5 months we only got like 39 wallets at the moment. So this is very stagnant. I don't like this particularly, but it is what it is. It's very stagnant, and also it's an effect of all these holders that got an airdrop getting slowly out of this airdrop and trying to sell. So we will see, but we really want to see this. We really want to see a user growth here, right? And at the moment it's just super stagnant, and they need what do they need? I don't know, more marketing, and also the like cater to the Web3 space and have influencers of big followings as partners to bring out what Veve does on their channels, right? So that's definitely what they need to do. They need to invest into more publicity and marketing there with content creators. Yeah, but so far so good. Let's look at the VVX tracker quickly how the whales are doing, because you can only see what's good when looking at whales. And let's see what is the date here, to the 24th. So until yesterday is updated. Bezos, man, is closing in on 55,000 collectibles, accumulating 800 collectibles during this this last week. And let me move the chat out of the way quickly. So we see this here, and then also number 2 has crossed, is almost at 22,000 collectibles. That is something that we did not expect in the beginning, but so many of these wallets are really stacking up. And then there's one that is actually selling, number 18, but I think that was a wallet that was selling anyways. Probably, yeah, no rebalancing. And then we have one that is just minting like crazy. I don't know, maybe comics or so, but this guy is minting a lot. This is more like a rebalancing of a portfolio looks. When someone sells of 122 and buys 12, that could be, sell some crappy items, buy 12 grails or so. That can happen. Or here is also a wallet at 35 that really wants to climb up the ladder, minting 12 and buying 434 collectibles, also pretty big in the move. Here also rebalancing, right? It's 104 sales, but 78 buys and 2 mints, only leading to a net negative of 24 collectibles. So this is, but the week is a little bit slower also on Veve. Because we had seen before like massive inflows into these wallets, and now they, I mean the 30-day net accumulation is still up by 42%, and the 14-day also up quite a bit, but the 7-day, you see it here, the net accumulation is way lower than before. So in the last week they haven't been going that crazy, right? So overall, this is an interesting development. We will see how these top whale wallets will perform. But if you remember, a couple of months ago, we had only 8 wallets above 10,000, and now we are about to get like 14, 15 wallets. These are very close, these two, and some upcomers, right? Some people that are climbing the ranks here. And so yeah, and we had a while ago, we had like Dr. Profit with his 17,000 collectibles was actually the biggest wallet, and now he's like on place 5 or so. Yeah. So definitely. By the way, this guy also minted like crazy. What's going on? Anyways, so we have a lot of people growing their bags. So this is good to see. And yeah. I think for today, guys, let me know in the comments below if you watch this afterwards what you think about Bitforex and also about Veve. Now San Diego Comic-Con is going on. I hope that someone grabs like a physical comic for me or so. I still have to see who will be that. Maybe one of you rare hodlers is going there and we can arrange something. On another note, slap the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, notifications on. That's always important to see the latest news on videos and live streams. And wherever you are on the world,